Alright, so we just finished watching the Microsoft press conference. Got a few things that we thought stood out. Let's see here. We've got the game from Keiji Inafune and Concept called Recore. Looked like was kind of hard to tell. It's a CG trailer. Couldn't really tell.
No gameplay footage.
No gameplay footage.
No gameplay footage.
There's guns. There's robots. There's the core of the robots that persists.
Yeah, it looks
depending
like
on.
You take the core out of one set of objects and put it into another, and it'd be your ally in different forms.
And then when they pulled back and you saw when you saw the title, there was like a line of different types of robots. There was one that would be like like a linebacker.
You're right. I missed that at the moment, but you're right. Yeah, it had kind of an animated film vibe.
Yeah.
Looked like maybe family-friendly kind of game.
And they had those characters kind of outlined around the title of the game itself, like as they zoomed out, as it closed out.
Yeah, as they closed out, they had it across the title was here, and across they had all the different
characters. Yeah. So maybe those will actually be playable characters. I don't know.
Playable, or maybe just kind of an ally that you send out.
Yeah.
Hey, take care of these enemies here, and when it breaks, you just take the core and you put it into something else.
The unbreakable core.
Right.
It's like Iron Man's chest or something.
Yeah.
You just keep pulling it out, go find a new person.
Yeah.
A new Iron Man.
Yeah.
Put in a new core. Yeah. That's good.
That was a game that stood out. One thing that was really interesting that I wasn't really expecting was the how the wireless controller that they're making can actually be customizable.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video again to see exactly what all they showed, but it looked like you could switch around thumbsticks. You could switch around certain various pieces. They had a new D-pad. Looked like it was showed off a little Killer Instinct. Maybe it's more attuned to a fighting game.
And there were buttons underneath as well.
Yeah,
like there were the traditional triggers.
Right. There was something there. I'm not sure if that's going to be
when you're handling a controller, like, is the whole purpose of your ring finger and your pinky like to actually grip the controller, so you actually have some kind of control over what's going on, and then typically your middle finger and your index finger and your thumbs, that's your actual action fingers.
So you can do a little something on the underside. Hard to say like how well are those buttons going to be used, because not everyone is going to have one of these controllers. Developers can't make a game that uses all of these buttons and expect every Xbox One user to be able to.
Right. Yeah. Unless you prepackage it with
perhaps
with the next generation of Xbox Ones, or with an updated version, or
we'll have to see
with a reprint.
So.
And more importantly, it has a headset jack.
Oh
yes,
right, yeah.
Guys, what do you need an EF for? You just give you have to buy it separately, right?
And
that's not an included feature.
Which isn't the whole point. Like, okay, so I'm mostly a PC gamer, right? So don't take this as PC Master Race. But isn't the whole point of playing on a console is that you have a bigger screen and that you have a more immersive experience, because you're interacting with your television as opposed to a smaller, more centralized monitor? So like you can have surround sound blast.
That's true.
You don't have to be confined.
But you also don't want to share games either. I mean, clearly the people don't want to be able to share it. This is
and this is
wait, they do. We should totally launch with that.
This is a feature that is on the DualShock 4. It came with the PS4. So this is kind of, I feel like it's kind of Microsoft just kind of catching up to
becoming industry standard.
That little feature that Sony added to their DualShock.
Yeah.
So I felt that was
I think it could be really cool.
It's a needed update.
If all of the different parts and components are truly interchangeable, then that could be really cool, because it could mean that your right hand could become your left hand.
Right, and that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, if it's truly interchangeable, that would be really cool.
Because I mean, really, it's been standardized for however long with controllers. Since Atari
and Nintendo.
Yeah, right? It's like if you were good with your right hand, you used your right hand, and there wasn't any difference.
Otherwise, you'd have to like flip the controller upside down,
right? Which
was easier with Nintendo.
Well, no, occasionally have the claw. What they would use if they were having left hand, they could like if you're looking at like this, they could turn their left hand over, and they would use their right hand to move it. But that's why they have
serious like
exactly. I had friends like the one guy in your like gaming group who does that. Everyone just like loser. Finally the lefties in your group.
Yeah.
So another interesting thing there. You guys had something to say about it. Jacob in particular, you sounded really excited about Xbox Game Preview. Kind of an early access kind of thing.
Okay.
EA Gaming. I mean, early access.
So here's the thing, right? Early access gaming, like, and I tweeted it as soon as I saw it, right? This is a byproduct of the fall in Genesis.
Genesis 3.
That's what
early
this
access
is. Like, when Eve and Adam chose to rebel against God, early access wasn't far behind. You know, like
right.
like if you're explaining early access to somebody who doesn't know what early access is, I'll explain it to you this way. Imagine you have a child and you have some ice cream, and you're going to charge them for a sample of the ice cream. Perhaps it's, you know, vanilla or chocolate or some sort of flavor, you know, whatever flavor you like. And depending on whether or not the child eats all of the ice cream, you may finish scooping them another scoop of ice cream. Or if they didn't like the ice cream, you may just fold up shop, sell off the rest of your ice cream properties and dividends and whatever else you've got left.
And they get a hot dog.
And then go become a car manufacturer.
Yeah.
Because your product didn't sell. So that's like
Hashtag Dean Hall.
Yeah, I mean, Daisy, you know, kind of left a bad taste when you enter into a game. It's early access. It's got a lot of potential behind it. And then there's no follow through because they don't have to follow through. Right?
Yeah.
You've already paid for whatever product you've gotten. There's already been an exchange. It's not a subscription-based service. Now it is.
Right.
And so it'll be interesting to see with a subscription-based model whether or not early access actually incentivizes developers to continue with their product and to stop jumping ship once they have enough money and say, all right, we're good.
So that is like the negative side. Let me present a little kinder side. So a lot of us have seen Kickstarter and just the myriad of things that just with that service have been able to fund that wouldn't be able to be funded any other way.
Yeah.
And that's, if you think about it that way, that you are giving money to a product that might not have had the backing that it needed to get off the ground, to get to where it could be a product that you're going to want to have further along. And because you invest in that, right, because you are effectively an investor at that point, right,
yeah.
there are going to be some stake in the company, right, which can include testing, which for a long time, you know, was this kind of mythical, how do you get into beta testing? How does that work? Right?
We all grew up wanting to be beta testers.
Yeah, we all grew up wanting to be, and now you can.
It's becoming more and more popular.
Exactly.
Well, but now instead of them paying you,
well, no, I tested before.
Experience.
Right.
You're paying for
the experience.
Getting to do something that no one else can do.
And they'll give you some swag. I mean, I was in the Daisy, you know, alpha and beta. I was there with the mod. I'm in with the new one, Arc, which was also shown because it's supposed to be ported over to console through the Xbox One. And I think if you just see it as a Kickstarter where the perk is you get early access, where the perk is you might have some swag thrown your way that you were a beta tester or whatever else, I think that's a positive. Obviously, because it's not been done very well, because we've kind of been crapped on in the gaming, especially the PC gaming community, because the Kickstarters fell through for whatever reason. Either the producers fell through, whatever it was negative, whatever it was. But if you consider more positive light, there are those that do well. Fingers crossed for Arc, because it's fulfilling all of my Jurassic Park, Turok, you know, sort of, you know, hole in my life. But we'll see.
Then one other thing that really stood out, at least to me, was the HoloLens demo.
Witchcraft. Black magic.
What kind of soul
is this?
I'd heard about it in the past. I know some people in the industry had a chance to get hands-on with it before, but it was pretty impressive being able to see what that person saw through the headset on TV to kind of get a idea of what this thing is going to be able to do. And it was pretty cool to see Minecraft.
Yeah.
Just the way he was able to navigate through, mark things. It seems like a really interesting device with a lot of potential. I think it just kind of depends on how well developers use it and how much it costs.
Yeah.
Because as great an innovation as it is, if it's not in a good price point, it's not going to do well. So.
Yeah, I mean, my first reaction to it was this is better than virtual reality. I mean, at this point, right? Because the problem with virtual reality has been making it public, making it accessible to the public, actually making a device that has a virtual reality-based game where you can go and be immersed and you can go buy this for Christmas or for your birthday party or for whatever. You don't just have to go and rent out some massively expensive supercharged thing. It's actually accessible.
Yeah, and I mean they are working on, Valve, Sony, Oculus, they're all working on VR. And Microsoft announced partnerships with Valve today and Oculus pretty recently as well. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to have a different kind of reality altering thing on the market.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the level of detail that it got into a pre-existing game, right? A massive game that Microsoft has invested a ton of money into.
Billions.
Minecraft.
Into getting Minecraft. Now they have, Minecraft is almost like Star Wars or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, or it in and of itself, it's a brand, right? And it comes with it a massive market. And so grabbing that Minecraft market and now exposing them to something like this is really going to open up the door for whatever they want to do with the product. And it also means that the next generation of folks who are playing Minecraft, this is what they're going to grow up playing.
Yeah. If their parents can afford it.
If they can afford it.
I mean, I'm just imagining, you've seen talks about how the Division's going to work with having an Overwatch, and it's being able to pull that up, on your and you're telling people what to do. You have a LAN party where you have one person. Think of what commentating is going to look like.
Oh yeah.
On if they're able to stream someone using a HoloLens, and they're able to kind of pan and move the whole thing. It's Minority Report, right? It's Minority Report. It's where he has that entire screen. He's able to flip it around and move it with his fingers, right? And it just kind of pulls up on the UI. But they're able to project it onto any flat surface. Which, if that's the case, it might get a little wonky to kind of select a large enough surface. But seriously though, I mean, you can move that around. You can flip it, do whatever else. It says it looks like there was maybe 3 axes that could move.
Something like
X,
that.
Y, and maybe not the can't really yaw, but it was everything else was movable, which could pay dividends for any kind of observation that we need to do. Or gameplay. So anyway, crazy things, a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it was a good conference. There's a lot of other things that they talked about. They showed off trailers for the new Gears of War, a new Halo 5.
Well, it's Gears now, right? Gears 4.
Gears 4. I'm not sure.
No war. Gears # no war.
There's still Gears, but it's not a war
Gears
anymore.
of Peace.
We'll find out more eventually.
Gears Craft.
Coming soon. What that game could be.
So
no shooting.
It was a good conference.
Yep.
I enjoyed watching it, and coming up pretty soon will be the other conferences. This video might go up a little after that. I don't know exactly what the time is going to be, but as of right now in our time, I'm looking forward to seeing some more conferences. So
awesome. Thank you.